Mm-hmm.
Would you feel bad about that?
No.
Taking the people out, plus all the other scientists that were working all the other sublevels? Would you feel bad about that?
But were the girls, you say, were clones, and so they did not consider the girls as human?
No. They created them. They said we created them. Mm-hmm. God didn't create them. We did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said, then they're just blow-up dolls with more features. Well, yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't get the part because in our bio of you, we talk about fetuses, and I don't recall you talking about the fetuses. Where do they come from? Is the girls impregnated or bearing these fetuses and they're harvested? I wasn't quite sure how they make it.
I explained the three fetuses. The first fetus they have is a replacement for them. The first full-term fetus is a replacement for themselves.
Okay.
The second fetus is in the life support jar above the life support unit when they're having the third fetus, which they're going to make a gray with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is.
So they don't have a male interaction with these girls, or is it everybody's raping them and that's where they're getting the fetus, or are they injecting?
No, they're artificially inseminating them for the fetuses because they don't want to use the scientist DNA because they viewed it as inferior.
And you believe that you were the model. They provided your DNA for all these girls in this mile-wide facility?
In sublevel 1.1 to 21.1, yes.
Okay.
At the other units, I don't know, because that's what they told me. Now, whether they were lying to me or exaggerating to me, I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is what they said.
Okay, so for us to understand then, you just went ballistic, and that's why you started...
I had a nervous breakdown, yeah,
okay.
Of course. You know, when I was on sublevel 1.1, and I told them, I don't have a problem with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Show me and tell me more. I was planning their death, but I didn't know how to do it yet.
Yeah. By the way, I tried to contact Colonel SC for this interview, and I can't do it. I don't. Has he gone? Has he gone underground, or did they finally get to him, or what?
Well, he, you know, they've poisoned him. He has some kind of cancer. He's dying. They're keeping us broke, all of us. James Casbolt hasn't been able to contact him. You know, he's gone through stages of they're trying to kill him, and he's afraid.
By the way, I was trying to contact James Casbolt as well. I seem to have some kind of problem there too as well. So maybe there is some sort of something freaky going on.
You see, when James Casbolt said, I know a lieutenant colonel where you can be safe, and I didn't hear from him for a week, and I thought, oh shit, they killed him. Well, when I got up there to meet with Lieutenant Colonel SC, he lives way out in the country, so we were going to meet at a gas station, and he was 2 hours late. And I'm going, oh, they got him too. Well, we finally got together, and when we got together, he told me that this NSA detained him in his driveway for 2 hours before he could go, and that the NSA had detained James Casbolt for up to a week before he could give me his contact information. And I'm going to assume they tried to kill him, but they couldn't, because if God decides he's going to protect you, you know, they can't, whatever they try is not going to work.
Is it possible, and somebody made the suggestion, I have talked myself to Vietnam veterans, and sometimes Vietnam veterans, because of the war and then coming back to America and being traumatized again here in the United States, sometimes they end up being psychologically damaged. Do you feel that in any way, is it ever possible that any sort of thing like this happened to you, or you feel like the psychological...
Oh, yes. I've had numerous nervous breakdowns, and when I realized they did this to my family, when I realized they were using my family as mind-controlled sex slaves, if you've seen the movie Eyes Wide Shut, that the women in those movies are mind-control victims for the most part. And Kubik, who made that movie, was killed before the movie came out because he made it. Hollywood is very much involved in this. And I was a basket case for a year. And then I decided I'm going to lose fear. And if anybody's a mind control victim, the first thing you have to lose is fear. And you have to tell yourself, can they do this to me again and to my family again? Yes. But you have to lose fear over it and do everything you can to fight it. So I was a basket case for a year. Do I have psychological damage from all this? Yes.
But the psychological damage did not cause you to hallucinate the events that you described that happened at Area 51.
No, I was such an efficient killer. They'll take a lot of mind control victims and they'll program in false memories. The only false memories that they programmed into me is what I was doing while I was gone. And I was such an accomplished killer that they did not want to break the machine. So they didn't try to do that very much, other than the stuff they did to me when I was a child.
Where's your family now?
Somewhere in California. Ex-family's in California.
Okay, so you left your family, or did they left you?
Well, when I realized my ex-wife was a mind control victim, her minister, Dennis Pelley, who is a Worldwide Church of God minister, a satanic priest, a Gambino Mafia Monsignor, and CIA ordered her to divorce me and leave me, and she did.
Wow.
And I was in divorce court for 2.5 years. My divorce court file was 18 inches tall. They were trying to make my life such pure hell that I would kill myself, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fight them.
Good for you. Keep on fighting. That's what we're saying. Okay, so you basically were led out of Area 51 by Lieutenant Colonel SC as he brought in some beer to bring you down. But
yeah, some beer and some pizza.
Why did they let you live after you just murdered 20 or so scientists and shot some muscular gray in the back with some weapon?
I was told that there were over 1,000 scientists at that facility that died. They probably tried to kill me and couldn't. Like they've tried to kill me all the time this year, since first of the year. They've tried to kill me in the past. They've given me enough poison in 95 that would kill 5 men, and I was sick in bed for a week. My tongue was so swollen, my entire inside of my mouth was pus white, so was my tongue. It was sticking out of my mouth. I couldn't even close my mouth for a week. Because I would do these things at different times. They would try to kill me, poison me.
Yeah. Ugene, there are over 150,000 missing children every year. Are any of these missing children being brought down to Area 51 or any other underground base you know of?
I've talked to people and they said yes. I don't know if the number's as high as 150,000, but you see, prior to them being able to clone someone to make one of these grays, I'm assuming in the 50s and the 60s, they would use regular people, but I consider these clones regular people too. If they're created with human DNA, and I also consider the Greys and these creations victims as well, because they started out as human.
Why are they creating the Greys?
Create a false invasion scenario. One reason is because they can. They're devil worshippers, and this comes from the devil worshipper technology from pre-flood man, maybe from Mars. There's a theory that, they studied all the universes out there, and I can't remember the name of the theory, and then they looked at our universe, and they claim there's a missing planet between Earth and Mars, and there's an asteroid belt going around our solar system, and they believe that's the missing planet. Now, I think because if you go to David John Oates' reverse speech site, if you reverse speech Armstrong's statement, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, you clearly hear, oh my God, I just saw an alien.
Really?
And then and, I listened to it on his site, and then I had the Apollo 13 movie, so I recorded it with my reverse speech machine, and I found that that's in fact what it says. It's clear enough you hear it. A lot of the reversals, you have to develop an ear for it because it's like a different dialect. Sometimes it's as clear as we're speaking.
Ugene, we had somebody make the claim on this program that there was a firefight on the moon when the astronauts got there. Have you ever heard anything like that?
Just on the radio. I don't know.
Okay.
But on his site, he will also go to about 7-8 years ago when they had the anniversary of the Roswell crash. They had Air Force Colonel do a series of press conferences, and David John Oates reversed him. And one of the reversals was, we have an alien down there, and he's teaching us.
Really?
I haven't listened to it for years, but you can find it on his site. And he was run out of the country because of this reverse speech stuff. Too many people were finding out too much stuff.
Okay, so you're saying that they are creating Greys in Area 51